Yvonne, thank you so much for being here. And from my understanding, you're going to be bringing back, is it your child?
My daughter.
Your daughter.
Yes. She was 14 years old.
Okay. And how long ago did she pass away?
It's 4 years ago.
4 years ago, you said. And she was 14?
She was 14. She passed away February 3rd, 2018.
Oh, wow.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, God, that's got to be so hard going through that with a child. I know from my mom losing a child, it was really rough on her. So I feel your pain. And then can you just tell us a little bit about, her name is Frankie, right? Tell us a little bit about Frankie.
Frankie was so sweet. Well, her real name's Amaris.
Okay.
But she decided, it's kind of a long story. She changed over time between the age of 13 and 14 because of a boyfriend she had that abused her, and I didn't know. And she decided, I think he had hurt her, and she didn't tell me, and she decided she wanted to be a boy. And I'm like, that was the first time I ever heard of it, and I was like, are you sure? I have no problem with it. And
just want to show you, it just popped up men on this one.
Wow.
As you're talking about a boy.
Yeah, that's why I pointed that out. I didn't know if it had any relation, you know.
Yeah, and so she's always, after that point, I said, you know, I'm going to love you unconditionally no matter what. I'll support you or whatever. I'll tell we come from a big old family. I said, I'll let everybody know, and anybody has a problem with it, I'll deal with them.
Of course, yeah, it's your child.
Nobody had a problem with, her. But at school, that was a different story. There were bullies left and right, and just even when she was a girl, they would bully her. And she's so pretty and sweet and smart. And the problem with her is that she was a sensitive, and she could feel people's feelings. So she would get anxiety at school.
Aww.
So she would feel them, like their negative energy and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
She could see ghosts since she was 3. All kinds of stuff she could see. She would tell me everything, and then it wasn't imaginary because we would see them too at like me and my husband and my other kids.
Yeah.
It was real.
Wow.
And never ending till the day she died was still that. I don't know if y'all saw a shadow of in the patio, one of the pictures.
Yes, you were. Yeah, I remember you sent me some pictures, and I'm gonna put them on my computer and look at them better. But I do remember you sending me something with an image in it. So I haven't showed him yet. I'll show him.
It's a cloud, and that's her room right there. She had the double door patio door, and this little hovering cloud is like going into her room.
Wow.
And it was caught on the Nest camera. So.
Wow. And that you caught that on camera after she had passed?
No. No, this was before, like 3 or 4 months before she died.
Wow.
So somebody would be messing with her,
Yeah.
So it wasn't just.
Yeah. So what exactly happened now? How did she pass away?
Yeah, so everything was going good. She was in everything happy. Hey, let's do this, and everything was fine. And then at night, I was watching the G team, had my headphones on, and she comes up, and I said, "What's wrong, baby?" And she just stood at the door, and she goes, "Oh, my friend Lewis, he's gave me a hard time. He says that I'm being unfair because I don't have time for him because I want to go to sleep. I'm sleepy, and he keeps sending me these emojis or little funny stickers or whatever, and he's threatening that he's gonna kill himself." And I'm like, "Oh, should we go to his house?" And she goes, "No, he just keeps nagging that he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it, and I don't want him to do that. He's my best friend." And I said, "Well, let's go to his house. I'll take you to his house." And so we could tell his mom. And she goes, "No, that's okay. I'll talk to him on the phone, and we'll straighten it out." And I said, "You sure?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry it's so hard, baby. I know it's hard." Those were my last words. And she goes, "Oh, it's okay." She went like that, and she closed the door. And then that was around 11:30 p.m. So we fell asleep and all, and it was my older daughter's baby shower the next morning. So I got up and I started rearranging the things. It was going to be a sharp beam, and I was, all the tables and all the patio outside and stuff, inside decorations. And then I noticed that it was about 9:30 and she hadn't woken up yet. She's usually out in the swing swinging around because that was her favorite thing to do. So I go in and knock on her door. She didn't answer. And so then I go outside and knock on the outside doors. She didn't answer. And so then I go look in the patio around the side of the house to see if she wasn't laying around or, hanging out. And she wasn't there. So I started, my heart started pumping then. I knew something wrong. So I ran back inside and I started banging hard on the door. And I told my husband, "Come open this fucking door. I think Frankie's in there." So he comes and he can open it. And I said, just kick it. And so he gave it a good kick. And it was like real dark in her room. And I told him, "Y'all go over there, because I had my little boy also. And I didn't want my husband to see. I said, "Y'all go over there." I couldn't see anything yet because it was so dark. And so then I started looking, and after a while, your eyes get adjusted. She was hanging from her dog bed with a dog leash, and I was like, "Shit," And so I went and I got her. I said, "Frankie," but she was already stiff,
Oh my
and,
God.
I said, "I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry they did that to you," because it was a whole bunch of stuff that it wasn't just her friend, so it wasn't his fault. But it was a whole bunch of stuff at school and stuff. Like a pedophile stalking her on the internet and stuff. But my first start, I wanted to cut her down. I ran to go. I told my husband to call the police and to stay away from there. I went to go get the scissors, and I came back, and I remember hugging her real tight and then cutting the leash. It wasn't just a little doggy leash. And she was so light. She weighed 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And she was so very light. And so I just gently put her down, and I held her and I hugged her and I told her I was sorry. I knew she was gone. There was nothing to do. But I just wanted to just stay there with her. She looked so precious.
Oh my God.
She looked like she was asleep. She did bite her tongue, but she looked like she was just sleeping. I just want to hold her. So then the cops come, and you need to go over there. I'm like, "Why? I'm gonna stay. I want to stay here. There's nothing that y'all can't, do without me here. I just want to look." They said, "Well, we need to investigate, make sure that, like if I did it or." I'm like, "Okay, but I want to make sure I see her before y'all take her away. Don't take her, make sure I see her."
Yeah.
I sent it to like 3 different police. And so I gave her a kiss and stuff, and I was like, because I didn't want to leave. I didn't mind being there. And anyway, they ran me out of the room and closed the door, and more cops came in. The morgue people or whoever.
Yep.
They did their little thing, and all of a sudden I hear the door open, and here comes a stretcher coming out of the room. I'm like, what are y'all doing? I said I wanted to see her before y'all did anything else with her. And they were like, they just looked at each other like, well, sorry, it's just that she's already wrapped in plastic inside the body bag. And I said, but I told you I wanted to see her. Wrap her. I was telling them, and they just looked at each other. I said, damn, never mind. So I didn't know where her face was. I said, where's her face? Where's her feet? And so they told me where, whatever. So I was just able to hug up tarp. I hugged the tarp, you know. So that's actually illegal for them to do that here in Texas. They should have let me spend whatever time I wanted with her.
Exactly.
They were gonna do that. But anyhow, they left, and all of a sudden, all these family members started showing up and everything. And my response started cleaning her room. I was going through her room. I found the note I sent you. I found that it made me feel better. But so many questions unanswered. I wish I could have done something for her. And it's just, did she really want to be a boy, or was it because of what the boy did to her that she wanted to be a boy? Because she did have, after she broke up with him, he was still stalking her. But she had 2 wonderful boyfriends.
Yeah.
In that time. And she was so happy and always laughing, and, she was a girl, but she wanted to be a boy, and the boys accepted her. They just liked her personality. They didn't care if she was a boy or girl, whatever. They were cool guys, and they treated her good. And so then, towards the end, like I said, she did have those 2 nice guys. So then, at the end of the day, she was trying to prevent her best friend Lewis from killing himself. So she said, I'm gonna do it so that you don't have to do it. That only makes sense to a little girl,
Yeah.
So she was just trying to sacrifice so that he wouldn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
But she was in so much pain. Like I said, the picking, the bullying. I hate bullies.
Same here.
Man.
Wow, I can't believe that. As you were describing the story, I can't help but to relive in my brain losing my brother. And what you described was very similar to what happened to us. So I feel your pain, and we were able to, when I got there, able to unzip the body bag, and they did let me see my brother. So that's unfortunate that they didn't give you that moment with her. You definitely deserved that. But I'll tell you, that vision I had of him in my head laying there, his skin so cold, I kissed his forehead, and I'll never forget that. And every time I've had nightmares about that forever. So I hope you got to see her again. And I mean, did you have a funeral where you were able to see her resting peacefully in a casket?
Yes,
Okay.
And the note, it says for me to bury her in her fancy boy clothes. So I did that.
Oh.
I buried her in her boy clothes, and her boyfriends were there. There were the puppeteers, and they all got along. And I gave them, she had guitars. I made flower arrangements, me and my sister, out of the guitars. So it looked real cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, we gave it to the best friends and the boyfriends. And so they were, just to have, give them something, because I wasn't going to have, I don't know how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
And so I gave a lot of her stuff, like the bikes and the video games and stuff, to boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I did, like I said, I think it was part of my I don't know what the hell I did, but I started cleaning her room right away. It's like I had to get rid of this is gonna go in trash, this is gonna go there, like that. And it was always gonna be her room, but I want to get rid of stuff like I knew she was gone. She's never gonna be back and stuff. And I don't know. A lot of people save everything, don't touch nothing, and I did the opposite. I have no idea why I did that. I was like going crazy, and
It was probably just a way to keep your mind busy because you were just going through so much, and maybe closure. Maybe you felt like you didn't get it, and maybe that was a way of getting it. But
and I did that night I slept in her room and I did a PSB, and she said I better not sell her stuff in the yard sales.
Oh, wow.
And my little boy was with me. She said put Junior to bed because he was still awake, and so she was still talking. And
wow, so she came through. She came through on the spirit box for you that night.
Yeah, and she said she'll be back. She's taking a class in ethics. It was just weird because you have to go over it. Once you slow it down and stuff, you really get more out of it.
Yeah.
So she spoke a lot, and I just it felt good being there with her, even though she wasn't there no more. I just wanted that last moment.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you have a spirit box and that you kind of practice with it, and it kind of, hopefully that gives you comfort knowing that you can speak to her and that you've heard her come through. And that's what's amazed me by it. And I've always wanted to share it with so many people. So I like to hear that when people actually go out and get one, because then they see that it's real. And when you record it and you play it back, some of the things that come through are just amazing. So that's why we're believers.
When I was cleaning her room and I wasn't sleeping, I didn't have no headphones on or nothing. I heard a whisper in my ear say, I love you, in a whisper, right? And that was the only actual word that I hear out, unless it's a machine or whatever.
Yeah.
But I definitely heard that, and I've only had 3 dreams about her. And on one of the dreams, she was running around, and I was trying to catch her, because I wanted to grab her, hold her spirit. I knew she was a spirit, but she was running away from me and hiding, like hide and seek. So I was really like trying to hide so I could grab her and just hang on to her, but she would take off on me. She thought it was funny.
Yeah.
It was actually a good dream, but I could catch her.
She's visiting you in the dreams. And then you mentioned the bear that you had. Now that's that was her bear?
That was her bear for years. And like a month before, she said, here, Mom, whenever you're sad or thinking about me, this is my spirit's in here. So whenever, just hold this. And he's been through a lot.
Aww. Wow.
We take him swimming. We take him to the river. We're going to go to the coast tomorrow, so he'll be swimming the coast tomorrow.
Nice.
Pretty soon.
Gives you some kind of comfort, yeah. Oh, well, I'm very sorry for all of that you went through. That has to be really hard from a mother, having to see that and witness that and go through all that. It's horrible. And suicide, it really does. It hurts. And she was so young, and that's what's even crazier is, and I'm hoping that, this could reach people watching this and maybe help somebody, with the bullying, because there really is a lot of it. I hear stories and I see things with having kids in school, and that's like my biggest fear is for them to get bullied. So I'm always like, you better stick up for yourself, you better speak up, you better say something. But unfortunately sometimes they fall into a depression, and they're you can't get them out of it, and that's tough.
They had even told me, send her to a psychiatrist or psychologist. I did, and he's like, well, I could give her medications and stuff, but she's a smart little girl. She sees whatever she sees because she's smart. She has a talent or something.
Yeah.
And so had a lot to do with her anxiety was the fact that she could feel all this stuff going around her, like the R's or whatever.
Yeah, really sensitive. Yep,
But
I get
she
that.
couldn't, like, barely go into the stores because it was too much for her to take the people's, like, if she could read their minds.
It's like a brain overload. I get it too, and that's why I understand. I can't go into large places or restaurants too long or just crowds. I can't. I get what you're saying. It's like it's too much, and it's like I get nervous, like a really bad nervous feeling, and it's like it's too much. So, and I had it as a child too, anxiety. So it's tough. And then to be bullied on top of that and going through everything that she did, you know, it led to that, unfortunately. It's so sad.
The way she would cope with that is she would sing on this nice thing that her father had bought her, and for hours she would sing out there. And so after she passed away, we have the Nest cameras. We have them pointed like at all angles at the house, and her puppy. This is not it, but her puppy looked like him.
Okay.
And his name was Infinity. He would, after she passed, he would go and have a video of him going and pushing the swing, and then he would run off, and then he would go back, and then he would go and be right there and be turning around, and then laying there, and, you know, for a long time, and then he would go and push her again, and like if Frankie was making him push her.
Yeah. Aw.
So I had that on video.
That's cool. Our meter here said student. It said students, and then it said name, and we were right around the time when we were talking about being bullied.
Yeah.
I was gonna hold it up for you, but it
said a name
switched.
before name.
Yeah, and it did. It said a name too of somebody, but that went so fast I'd have to go back on it and see what the name was. It started with an R.
Rhonda. RHONDA.
I don't know how to go back to that. But I'm going to go ahead and get the spirit box ready here, and let's see if we can make connection with Frankie. And
what kind of questions do you want to ask?
Yeah.
I want to ask is she safe? Who's she with? Definitely, does she want to be a boy or girl? She's going to say boy. And that's just for confirmation for me. And what else? Oh, if she's up with my mom and dad, tell my mom happy birthday today.
oh, that's right. So it's your mom's birthday today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so just tell her to stay with my family up there, because she has her two other teenagers, cousins that committed suicide also at 14 and 18.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
they're up there with her and tell them to stick together.
What are their names?
Scarlett and Salvador.
Okay. Yeah, just in case, you know, we hear those names come through at all. And what was your mom's name?
My mom's name is Elida, and my dad's name was Alfredo.
Okay.
But they're dead too.
Oh, so both of them have passed. And then she has siblings. You said you had one son, too?
Michael Jr.
Okay.
I'll probably call him Junior.
Okay.
And B, like the letter B.
Okay. So there's two kids?
And a bigger sister, B.
B is the sister. Okay.
Like Victor.
Okay. That way just kind of, it's good to kind of know these things, so then when we are going through it afterwards, you know, you might not hear everything right away, as I always tell everybody. And you know that because you play around with it too. But when I edit it, you know, it seems like every single time so far we've gotten really good stuff. So I think she'll come through. I do. Can you say your name? Frankie, can you tell us, did you want to be a boy or a girl? I'm sorry things happened the way that they did for you. Are you happier now on the other side? Can you tell us who you're with right now? Are you with your cousins that passed away?
Oh, look.
I think I just heard name is Scarlett. And she said her name is Scarlett. What is today? Whose birthday is it? My family. Is today your grandma's birthday?
Can you tell her that I'm not mad at her or anything like that? That I'm very proud of her.
Yes, we will. I feel like there's definitely a girl's voice coming through, and when I asked her, she's saying some things. It's crazy when we speak with a boy versus a girl. We're always like it's either or. You get more of that, and we're definitely getting more of a girl.
Yeah, for sure.
And I asked whose birthday it was, and she said my family. So I think she was just saying somebody in her family's birthdays today. That was really clear.
Day.
And there was something else that it said too, but I couldn't quite make it out. And I think I even heard Scarlett when I asked about the cousin. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and turn it back on.
She's not mad at you. She's proud of you. Can you let her know you're okay?
What would you like to tell her? Thank you. And can you tell us again, are you in heaven? And didn't you say that she was being stalked? It says stalk on there. I just noticed that when I...
Oh, wow, I didn't put that together.
Let me just show them to you. Yeah, it says stalk, and that popped up.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's actually, I think, the second time that popped up. When we first started talking, when it was talking about students, it also said stalk. And I didn't even get a chance to show you.
Their boyfriend would show up at our house in the middle of the night with the police saying that I was his mom. And I'm like, no, I'm not his mom, sir.
Oh,
I
wow.
would have to tell the policeman, sir, he's just, he just wanted my daughter. He kept...
That's odd. Yeah,
At
that's...
school, he would follow her and go screaming in her ear. Like, she saw him with a new boyfriend, so he got jealous and would try to pick at them and stuff like that.
Wow. How about your brother or your sister? Can you confirm what their names are? What was your brother's name?
Do you know a Norman?
Norman? No.
Okay, it just said Norman. That's what we were curious.
And the other one was Tom.
Yeah, it said Tom and Norman, but they said it on this. It said it on that app.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten some good things on that. We don't know if it's 100%, but we were doing a woman the other day. Her dad's name was Charles, and it said Charles.
I saw that.
Yeah, so
I saw that. He came on strong.
Yes, and then my niece, Kylie's name, when I was talking to my brother, I asked what his children's name were, and it said Kylie. And that's a different name, so that was kind of cool, too.
Frankie, your mom would really like to know you're in heaven. We're really sorry about what happened to you. Can you let her know you're all right?
If you were here right now, what would you tell your mom? How about your sister? What's her name? Do you have any messages for your brother or sister? Your mom just wants to know that you're safe and that you made it to heaven. You understand your mom's not upset with you, right? She loves you.
Frankie, do you watch over your mom? Frankie, would you like to say anything to your mom?
Do you regret anything? He said everything. Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
When I asked if she regrets anything, I think I heard everything. I don't know if if you think she would say that. I mean, I feel like when we talk to people that committed suicide, that they always say they regret things or they would have did it differently.
Yeah. I'm going to have a little surgery. Tell her she could come by and visit me while
Okay.
the enemy's sedated.
Okay. All
Tell her
right.
it's a good time if it's safe. Tell her.
Okay. Louder. She wants you to come visit her. Can you do that? Who are you with right now, Frankie? Can you please give your mom a message from you? Said, hey, Heather. I think that's my brother because I mentioned him, and as soon as I mention him, he starts saying my name like crazy every time during every session. So he's probably letting me know he's met your daughter. Thank you, Gary, if you're there. Can you help Frankie to come through? Her mom's here. She wants to know that she's safe. Have you had any experiences at your house? Like, I guess it seems like it happens to a lot of people in the very beginning when they lose somebody. Was it more stronger then? Like experiences that you may have seen something or heard something or felt like she was there?
Not too much because, like, less than a year that she's been gone, we had to move to take care of my mother-in-law.
Okay.
And so I've been over here for almost 4 years, and I can't wait to go back home. And actually, my older daughter stays there, and she says she hears knockings and stuff like that, but she hasn't seen anything.
Oh, okay. So your older daughter stays in that house, but you had to leave.
Yeah.
And you're going to be going back?
We'll be going back like in a year or so.
Okay.
So I can't wait to go back. I go back like every day because the kids go to school in that school district. But
okay.
I'm saying to actually go live there and put my roots back in.
Right.
It's going to be about a year.
So it felt like after you left, you didn't really feel very much, but you do feel like something's in that house.
I'm definitely never going to sell the house because I would still, maybe, that's the best. When in reality, I believe she'll be wherever I am or wherever
right.
They get to float around. But I think that was her comfort zone. Her swing's still there. I push it when I go by. Like I said, I have my own gadgets and stuff, so I just can't wait to get back to that house.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my mom ended up selling the house, and she moved away, far away, because at that time when Gary passed, because it was like she was so afraid. I don't think it was afraid. I think she didn't want to be in the house anymore without him in there. And I think it was just so depressing. I was going to say shadows. We would see things at the end, and then his shadows popped up on the thing. But we would see things here and there in that house, and she would think it's him, and she wanted him to show himself. But it was almost like it just made her, I think, sick, and she had trouble sleeping and everything. So she would come up and visit me often because it was just depressing looking at his room knowing that he's not there. So maybe it was a good thing that you left for a while to kind of get a break from it. And then now, when you go back, it doesn't hurt as bad, but it'll always hurt,
We have a 4-bedroom house, and of all the rooms, my older daughter chose that room to make her room to sleep in. So she sleeps fine. She says sir and everything.
And everything's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
So Frankie, your sister, brother, niece, and nephew, they miss you very much. They want you to know that, okay? Confirm that you can hear me right now. You said they write you little notes sometimes. Do you see those? Is there anything that you want to tell your mom right now? Because she can hear you. And can you try and tell us again who you're with? She wants you to know you're always welcome there. She wants you to stay around.
That's probably not good now.
I feel like so far that we did get answers to certain things. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to really know until I play it back, as you know.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. Too,
I know, because I know you was having difficulty hearing it. So yeah, so we'll just have to edit it. Anything else before we go that you want me to ask that you could think of?
Let her know that if somebody or something is trying to scare her out there, or ever does, tell her go to my mom and dad. And
Okay.
straight to God, like, and they'll protect her.
Okay.
Frankie, your mom wants you to know that if anything tries to scare you or hurt you, just go to your grandparents and to the light and God.
Really appreciate everything.
No problem at all. And again, very sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
and it was so
really
nice
sorry.
meeting you.
Thank you.
It was very nice to meet you.
Yeah, anytime you ever want to talk or anything, you know, I'm here for you and I understand your pain. And even if it's just to vent, you know, I'll get your email. So,
All right, I appreciate it.
okay, well, you have a good
Have a good
night.
night.